Welcome to the Slow Living Collective podcast. I'm Amy, wife, mother of two and homemaker. Come along with me as I share my love for simple living, growing in my allotment garden, diving into what it means to be an urban homesteader and embracing life as a mother and homemaker. Hey everyone, Happy New Year. Welcome to 2024. What? How is it 2024? What is going on? Every time I try and write 2024, I keep writing 2014. My goodness me, 2024. I am going to be 39 this year. Next year I'm going to be 40. What is this craziness? How is this happening? I don't know. But anyway, today I wanted to talk about the new year. And I want to talk about what the new year might look like. Not that I have a crystal ball or anything, but in terms of why we don't necessarily want to set intentions, and if we do want to set intentions, what might they be, and just a little bit of a reflection for the year ahead. And so I want to talk about why it's a difficult time of year to set resolutions and intentions and goals, or whatever you want to call it, why it can be difficult, and then a little bit about what I expect from my business for the year ahead. And this podcast, and then I don't have any other intentions whatsoever. I will do it in the spring when it feels more natural. So let's dive into that. Let's dive into why it can feel just not right this time of year to be setting intentions. And I think it just comes with, we come straight out of Christmas and then straight into New Year, this random date in the calendar that has no significance whatsoever on anything. It's just a random date in the calendar. It's not connected to the sun, the moon, the stars, the ocean, anything. It's not connected. It's just a random day. And we pick that day, and that is the New Year. It is in the deep, dark depths of winter. The days are cold. We're all on a Christmas come down, and suddenly we've got to set new goals. So, I always laugh because I remember shopping in Sainsbury's one year before we had children. And then the lead up to Christmas, their seasonal aisle is filled with sweets and all alcohol, all of these things to tempt us. It's eat it, go on, eat it. And then as soon as Christmas is over, this aisle is full of sports stuff and Fitbits, and it's now you need to exercise. And it's just such a contrast. But in winter, in the deep depths of winter, we are in hibernation mode. We have slowed right down. And like I've said in some previous episodes about Christmas, it's just a really sort of unnatural time for us to be sort of popping out of hibernation as we've sort of slowed down through the autumn. And then December comes and we're supposed to be social and back on it and, back at peak performance, and then Christmas is over and it's you can get back in your shell now, and we all end up with this sort of Christmas come down. And then it's but don't forget to set intentions, because if you don't start at the beginning of the year, you'll fail. And then we're tired. We're flip-flopping around in terms of we're slowing down, no, we're back to busyness again, no, we're slowing down again, no, we're back up again. And it's winter. And in winter, our bodies want to be slow. They want to be restful. They just exist differently than they do in the summer. And in the Northern Hemisphere, all of this is occurring in winter, in the deepest, darkest depths of winter. And so it's really sort of a difficult time for us to, just figure out what's what. So it's of no surprise that when most people set intentions, or set resolutions or goals or whatever you want to call it, it is no surprise that mostly we don't fulfill them, because it's not the right time. It doesn't feel the right time. And I think I did an episode last year where I spoke about how actually in the old calendar, the new year was in the spring, around the 20-something of March, around spring equinox, which is much more realistic if you think about it, in terms of it actually being connected to the seasons, and it's not just a random date. And also spring is a time of rebirth. It is a time where we are coming out of hibernation and we are ready to, get back to it. We feel more alive. We are waking up. We are ready to set intentions and goals. And so that's something that I have, been very passionate about doing for the last few years, because it makes so much sense. Of course it makes sense. But above that, you can actually set a goal, intention, resolution, whatever you want to call it, at any time in the year. You can start anything at any time and see it through if you truly, truly want to. So while I am here pontificating about the fact that you don't need to set goals or resolutions or intentions in January because it doesn't feel natural, something that I am going to do is I'm not going to set personal intentions. Like I said, that is more of a March thing for me, and I'm sure I will do an episode on that come March if I remember. But in terms of my business, I do work year to year, and so January, when it comes to business stuff, it's not so much intentions but more, I guess, setting out some of the things I want to do. I like to know where I'm at and what I'm doing, and obviously I'm raising this business from the ground. It's not the first time I have raised a business. I had my own business for many years doing social media management and brand strategy, and so it's something that I've done forever, and content creation in general, which is what it all is really. It all comes back to content creation. It's something I've done since I was 21 years old, so it's not new to me, but this sort of facet of my business is new to me because it's definitely taken a different turn. The Slow Living Collective is, more about slow and simple living and embracing those elements of that and how we can weave that into our everyday lives and how we can help others slow down and simplify and just embrace the kind of intentional life that they want to embrace. And I'm so grateful for all of the guests that have come on the show over the last year in 2023, because they have really made such a difference with so much, just all of their insights in different facets of slow and simple living and what that might look like. And I'm really excited about this podcast and where it's going. I hit 10,000 downloads in the autumn last year. And so, it's going from strength to strength. And there's this wacky fact that most podcasts don't even reach 50 episodes. And so if you have 50 episodes or more, you're in the top 1% of podcasts, which is wild. I love doing this podcast, and the podcast is something that I want to really focus my energies on for the next year. I want to continue to create good content, and I am switching things up in the way that I record. So I've always recorded sort of very ad hoc with guests, and I'm literally just opening up 2 recording spaces throughout the year. So I think that's going to be a recording month in May, and I think a recording month in maybe October, and just literally batch record, and then take the rest of the time to not be focusing on those things. And because I love podcast recording, but I also really thrive on a good schedule, and so I thought that would be a great way to sort of start the new year. I did a lot of recording towards the end of 2023, have some incredible episodes lined up for you guys that come in this year, and just gonna have a lot of solo shows from me where I can really delve into some really good topics, and also some episodes with guests as well, because I love having people on and getting different perspectives on things as well. So there's lots of excitement coming in terms of the podcast. I'm still going to just continue to do 1 episode a week. That I think that really works. And yeah, so that's where I plan on going with the podcast, just really focusing my attentions on that. I want to get better at sort of my all-round creation of the podcast, so we'll see how we get on, but that's definitely the goal for this year. In terms of my website, which is theslowlivingcollective.com, just continue making sure that I keep up to date with that, producing the content that I want to create there, and just keep growing that. I've got lots of online things coming this year. I have a very special announcement that is coming. I think it's going to be in the next week or so. So keep your eyes and ears out for that, because it's something I've been working on behind the scenes and I'm very excited about it. And because I record these in the past, I know I say this all the time, but because I sort of batch record in the past, I never know if I've already dropped the bomb. So you might already know what I'm talking about. So we'll see. Eh? But yeah, I've got some really exciting things coming this year in terms of the Slow Living Collective brand. So I've got a launch coming this month in January. I am also launching my first digital course in the spring, and that is going to be my Rooted in Seasons course. It's going to be my signature seasonal living course. I'm very excited about that. It's only going to have an intake, I think, once or twice a year. It's going to be completely self-paced, so you can take the content and consume it at your own speed. There's no tests, or there's a few quizzes, but you know, they don't mean anything. You can completely absorb it and take it in at your own speed, but it is going to be just only open once or twice a year. I'm still deciding. It's brand new. I've had some people go through it already, so just absorbing the information that they fed back to me. It's really, really helpful. So yeah, I'm going to be launching that course in the spring. Offline, the Slow Living Collective has got lots of exciting plans in our local area. We are going to be hosting things like yoga classes, mindfulness, meditation, a lot of outdoor stuff, women's circles and things like that. So I'm really excited. We've got some plans coming to fruition again in the spring. So spring's the time, friends. Spring is the time. So I'm looking forward to that, and just continuing really to just grow the whole Slow Living Collective brand, but in like a really casual way. I want to just be able to, you know, reach more people, help them with slowing down and simplifying their life, whatever that looks like. I think it's this really common misconception that it's just really difficult to slow down in the modern world because the modern world is so busy. And hopefully, you know, these little podcast episodes or the content I have on the blog or the stuff that I share even over on Instagram, I hope all of these things just go some way into giving somebody somewhere some, you know, helpful tips and advice in finding ways that they can slow down and simplify in their own life, because that's all I'm here for. That's all I want to do. I want to share the things that I have found that really work and just go on and spread the joy. So in terms of personal goals, I don't really, like I said, that's going to be pretty much a March thing. I just want to really embrace slow living even more, just really keep aligned to that. I want to do more in terms of like my yoga and mindfulness and meditation. I have some education I want to complete for those, and just keep getting more in alignment with myself and finding out where I sit and where my growth is leading me to. Because if you listened to my episode last week, you'll know that I didn't necessarily love 2023, and it had some real great parts, but it had some real yuck parts as well. Just parts that I am quite happy to leave in 2023. Really difficult moments, difficult experiences, difficult friendships, and a fair amount actually happened offline as well, which I didn't go into. You know, just really really a naff year. So I'm hoping that 2024, we'll set off on the right foot, and we'll see. You never can tell, but I am hopeful. I am hopeful beyond hopeful that 2024 is going to be a better year. So I'm not going to keep you any longer. It's the new year. We're all basking in, the new year itself. So I'm going to leave it there. I will catch you. We'll be back to normal next week, and we're going to dive into my potentially super secret announcement that I might have already announced. I don't know. Go follow me over on Instagram. I've probably already done it because I can't keep a lid on anything. But go follow me on Instagram. You can find me there at The Slow Living Collective, and you can find me obviously on the blog, which is theslowlivingcollective.com. And yeah, until next week, I will see you then. I will see you in the next episode. Have a great week, guys.